Hi, I'm back. So, as you can see by the mess, I've been busy um, working on this and trying to start getting some ideas. So, I'm going to show you where we are right now. First off, I'm going to have to figure out a new top for this. The veneer was even thinner than I thought. Just sanding with 120 and 220 by hand, I actually broke through. So I'm going to finish sanding off that veneer that was on there, and then I'm going to find a new top. Now, I may either do. I've got some leather. I might do a leather top with a banding, just simple tanned leather. I've got a little bit of sanding to finish up here on some edges I see, but other than that, it's to the point now where we're ready to start staining on this. And I've already picked out a color. I've torn the drawer apart, and I went ahead and finished the front of that just because I wanted to see how the color looks. And I think I like this color, so this is what we're going to go with for the color on this. And I have polished up the handles for the side. I'm going to polish them a little more, and then I'm not sure if I'm going to paint or if I'm going to anodize them. If I anodize them, I'm just going to anodize them black, just because that would be simplest. I may end up having to paint though. If I do, I'll do, like a hammered bronze or something like that, and I think that'll look nice. But I do want to try anodizing once, just because I've seen that it's possible to do at home. So, at some point. I did take the drawer apart, because there were some problems with that. But I also found out that the space is actually almost 1.5 inches deeper than the drawer was. So we could extend the length of the drawer. If I do that, I've got to make new sides. But the nice thing about it was, about taking it apart, is there was actually spacers in here, and that's what caused the drawer to be so loose inside here. It was narrower. But if I just go with the width of this, it'll tighten it up a little bit, and it should look pretty good. And when we get to that, I'll show more. So, that's where we are on that. I have come up with an idea that I really like on the interior, and I'm going to show you that now. For the layout, I've already talked about how I want to do the pins in the upper portion are going to be this way. I still need to calculate and see how much room we have for that. I am still leaning towards maybe putting a tray in the top. I probably will, because I like those trays. It's kind of nice to be able to take them out, set them aside if you want to go through your collection or whatever, instead of taking the entire box, which is kind of bulky. I'm going to, in the drawer, I'm going to leave it just as a drawer. The drawer slides out, so it's basically its own tray. But we have all of this depth here. So my idea is where that mirror was, right here, I now have a new piece, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put slots in there. I don't know if you can see, pardon me, my sketch, but this is going to be some spacing, so we can have pins in the top lid. But what we'll be able to do then is, I'm going to have a latch on this, and then you'll be able to unlatch it, and this will be able to swing out, and it will make a catch, and it'll be able to sit like this when it's on somebody's desk. That way their pins that maybe they use every day will be right there in front of them, and they can just grab whatever one they want. I haven't seen anything like this before when it comes to pin storage, and I think it's a neat idea. Hopefully you guys do too. Still got to work on kind of the mechanics of it, exactly how it's going to work, but that shouldn't be too bad. And by having that tray in there, we will actually have a ledge for this to sit on when it's in the open position. And it'll actually be a little bit taller because, let's see if I can find my piece here. As you can tell, it's kind of messy. Ah, there it is. My thought is this would be the sides of the slotters, and these will sit in here, and they will actually hang a little bit below this board. So when it's out, it will actually rest on those. And the reason I did that is because, let me grab one of the largest pins I have is this Schaefer flat top. This one here is from the late 20s. You can tell that by the design of the clip and how close it is to the top of the cap. But if we have this up on the board like this, it's going to be a little bit harder to get it in and out of here when it's sitting down like this. You can see it's fairly tight. So that's why we're going to extend it down. That way the pins would be able to come out and up to get them out. So that's my goal. I think it's a neat idea. What I'm going to do then is I'll finish sanding the inside of the lid, and the inside of the lid will be stained the same as the rest, and then this panel will all be felted. And I think that, you know, that color differentiation will be nice to be able to see, and then just give it a little more, have it more like it's framed. So my idea for the latch, is I have some brass tubing, and my thought is to flatten it out, and then I will take, you know, a small portion of the end and bend it up. That would be something to be able to get a hold of, and then we'll just drill a hole in here, and this will just slide in and lock like this, similar to those picture frames that you can take the backs off really easy. Similar idea. So that would hold it in so you can raise and lower the lid. And with the brass, I think it would just be a nice accent. And besides, I've already got the material. So, but that's my idea for there, because the reason I'm going to put them on the sides is, of course, on the bottom here, it's going to be hanging over because of the way these dividers are going to sit for the slots. And we can only fit 9 pins on here, and that way the center one, there would be a center one that would be, you know, centered within here with 4 on each side. And we'll have a spot for the latches to swing out of the way. So that's my idea on this. I'm going to continue working. I'll be back in after a little while for you guys, and then we'll go from there. So we'll see you on the next episode. Oh, one last thing. I got a new cordless drill today. And I just finished refinishing it. So, I think I've said this before, that I work in my basement. I'm often up before the rest of my family. So I want tools that don't make a lot of noise. And this doesn't make much of any. I just recently picked this up. I went ahead and tore it apart today and serviced it. Everything works nice and smooth. This is a Stanley 1221, and it'll be a nice addition to my tools because it's a heck of a lot quieter, and I like working with old tools. So, alright, we'll see you on the next one. Thank you.